I asked medical students to share their best medical advice they received during their course of medical studies. To me, it's very funny and simple. A yam that will bend. It has no impact whatsoever on my education. It sounds funny to me. So that's my best advice.
Hello everyone, my name is Emmanuel and I'm a fifth year medical student here at UDS. Medical school is like jumping a hurdle. It requires both speed and accuracy. It can get competitive, especially when you start comparing yourself with other people. While there is a place for healthy competition, the best competition is trying to improve upon yourself to be a better version each day. And also, it requires having like a consistent plan, staying disciplined, and reaching out when you need help, especially in some subjects. You don't have to struggle in silence. And we always need to remember that in this life, until the last day we drop our stethoscope, we never stop learning. Thank you.
Yeah. My name is Prince. I'm fifth year medical student, and one of the best advice I've gotten in school is don't go to the exam hall with answers looking for questions, but go with knowledge and preparedness. It's funny when you look at it from that line. I mean, it was a pathology professor who was telling us that some of us come thinking that the questions we are hoping for we know already, so we just chew the answers sort of and go in there. But then I think if you are reflecting on it on a larger scale, it shows you how generally that's how life is. It gives you the room and chance to prepare yourself to face any circumstance that comes your way, rather than going with a preformed mentality and jumping into conclusions. And when you look to life or in any circumstance, as time goes on, as you sail through, when you approach challenges and circumstances each day with preparedness, assertiveness, rather than going on with mentalities, preform mentalities, which would in a way down regulate your emotions. But when you go with such an open mind, prepare yourself appropriately and face the situation head on, you are sure to come out with the best solutions. Thank you.
I'm Abigail Boahin, a fifth year medical student. And one of the best advice I've ever received in medical school goes like this: don't be a doctor, but be the doctor. This is really simple, and initially it sounds a little bit hilarious, but then I give it a second thought and realize that it's very deep and insightful. This is a gentle reminder and also a wake up call that there's a clear distinction between having just the title and also living up to it. Anyone, by God's grace, can gain access into the medical school, complete successfully, be inducted and practice as a doctor, but not all are able to carry out their duties effectively, be trusted, and also make real impact. This advice really changes how I show up, think, and even challenges me to go the irreducible minimum, even when situations aren't favorable. I don't just study to pass an exam, but rather I study to understand.
Hi, my name is Donko Emmanuel. Yeah, I'm a fifth year medical student in UDS. Your life shouldn't be centered solely on medical school, you should have a work life balance as well. So, back in level 100, I used to focus so much on medical school. I'll just wake up in the morning, everything about book, and then the next thing would be to sleep or to just eat. So someone just advised me about the fact that there are other things that you have to learn aside like the book stuff. So you realize that you have to also some people distress. You see, medical school is actually stressful. So some people actually distress themselves by actually listening to music, learning something. Mine was music. I like music a lot, so I decided to learn something about music. Some people go to the gym and other stuff. You realize that you perform better when you actually engage yourself in other things, and then also adding in medical school. So I realized that it really helped me a lot. So basically, that's the advice I would give to you. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Manasante, a fifth year medical student. One of the best advice I've gotten since I started this medical school is about the fact that the eyes cannot see what the mind does not know. This goes a long way to establish the fact that knowledge always comes before recognition. For instance, you will be at the word and there will be an obvious signs and symptoms to pick up. But since it is not yet imprinted in your mind, it is going to be very difficult to go by and see what is actually happening. A clear example, when you are given an ECG or a chest X-ray to interpret, if the mind hasn't come across it before, it's going to be difficult for you to interpret it just as it's supposed to be, especially if you want to start from a head to end. So this is not actually limited to only medical issue. It's cut across. Whatever the mind has not seen before, it's going to be difficult for the eyes to visualize it when it comes across it once. Another instance is when you are in the ward and certain obvious signs and symptoms comes to you. If you have not seen it before or not even read about it before, it's going to be difficult for you to actually pinpoint this is what is happening. But you see that a senior colleague could just come and pick it up. Why? Because they have it imprinted in their mind. This code has actually pushed me to ask a lot of questions, read wide, and not to only rely on what I'm being taught theoretically in the class.
Hi, I'm Brian. I'm a fifth year medical student, and one of the best quotes I've heard since going to medical school was by William Foster. And he said that he who studies medicine without books sails an uncharted sea, but he who studies medicine without patience does not go to sea at all. So it simply means that once you are going to charter this path of medicine, you must be ready to read wide and read from different authors and for different reasons. And by your best people who are going to teach you are going to be your patients because obviously without your patient, like you said, you do not even come to see at all. So your patients must be valued because they are going to be opening their lives to you and through their experiences and their predicaments, you are going to learn and also become the doctor. And indeed, without the patients, we are nothing. Thank you.
My name is Timothy. I'm a fifth year medical student, and today I'm here to tell you about one of the best advices I've come to learn in medical school. So, in my 5 years of studying medicine, I think for me, one of the best advices that social skills are just as important as academic knowledge. People think medicine is just about academic knowledge and the things you've come to know, but I have come to realize that social skills are just as important. When you are relating with patients, as we already know in medicine, we talk to patients, and for them to really reach out to you to give you the information that you need to have that social skills so that the patient can actually have that trust in you to relay certain informations to you that can help you come about with your diagnosis. And in medical school, we always hear that history taking takes about that's history taken in the physical examinations take about 75% of the diagnosis of the patient. So it tells you how much communication skills are very important. So as a medical student, don't just focus on your academic knowledge. Know how to relate with people, know how to gain their trust so that they can actually see you as more than a doctor, so that they can actually talk to you and relay the required information you need to make an adequate diagnosis. Thank you very much.